Welcome everyone, I hope you're having a very wonderful day, and welcome to my guide for Coyote for Layton Lakes. Before we begin, I want to quickly break down how today's guide is going to work. So, our first section, we're going to be covering the animal locations / hotspots, and then we're going to move on to weapon recommendations, and then end today's video with the animal profile, which will have an ammo integrity chart, zone times, everything you need to make your hunting life 10 times easier. So, let's get right into it. Today's video is going to be rather short, as Coyote are kind of just like black bear, except for they do have the unique ability to have smaller groups, at least some grouping for a predatory animal. But just like with many others, they're not confined to one part of the map. Just like the black bear, they own pretty much the whole entirety of the map, so they could be anywhere. So it makes it very hard to try to designate a hotspot for this particular animal. So pretty much all of the map you're going to have to explore and figure out where your pack locations are at, so you can start farming for Coyote if that's what you're trying to achieve. I do want to mention one note: if you're trying just to get a diamond Coyote on this map, it's going to be a rather tough challenge, to be quite honest, but I do find Coyote hunting to be a lot easier on the New England Mountains map, as they're all confined to the lower regions of the map. So if you're looking for just getting a diamond Coyote in general, I recommend heading over to New England and giving that a try. But I do want to mention a few hotspot locations that are good for me, at least so far. The main Starting Lake has quite a few zones for me for coyotes, and pretty much all the river stretches house quite a few coyotes, a lot of singles for me, and including this right-hand side. This right-hand side's been very popular for me, but I recommend just exploring your map, finding your zones, and then setting up for them. That'll pretty much conclude all of our animal location talk and hotspots. We're going to move on to weapon recommendations, so I will see you guys at the locker. Alrighty, so here we are at the locker. Before we begin, I want to mention quickly three things. First things first is I'm only going to be covering rifles, handguns, and shotguns. I'll not be covering bows because I'm not a bow expert, and I'll leave that to professionals. Secondly, these are just all my personal recommendations. I always say go out there and explore and see what suits you and what you enjoy playing with. And then lastly, I'll be mentioning all the DLCs weapons come from in case you want to pick them up for yourself. So let's get right into it with the 22-250. This is a very phenomenal bolt action rifle for small game. It's one I preferably use when hunting. And it has 5 rounds in it, very low recoil, and it's very, very accurate, and you can find it in the Emerald Coast DLC. Moving on, I completely forgot about this bad boy, the Zarza 223. It's a semi-automatic rifle based off the M16 look. It's very fun to use, and I completely just forgot about it. So I had to bust out recently and use it a little bit, but it's just an enjoyable rifle. You have 5 rounds of the magazine, semi-automatic, just does the job, and you can find it in the Modern Weapons Pack DLC. Moving on to handguns, we have 2 handguns for today's list. We have the 243 Kumo, which I would assume for most of you guys, if you watch my guides, this was to be suspected. This bad boy is just so fun to use. It's only got 1 shot in it, so it's good for those singular coyotes. And the best part about it, which makes it, in my opinion, one of the better pistols in all Call of the Wild, is that you can put rifle scopes on it, which, comparing it to the handgun scopes, it's just miles ahead. And you can find this bad boy in the Assorted Sidearms Pack DLC. Moving on, we have our only base handgun on the list, the 357. I bust this out every so often. I enjoy using it. I like the round that he uses. It's just very fun, and if you don't want to spend money on any of the weapons in today's video, I recommend picking this bad boy up if you want to use it for handguns. Moving on to our only shotgun of the day. Scrolling down here to the Norden 20 gauge. I recommend this bad boy a lot for small game. It's semi-automatic. You have 3 rounds in the tube. And it's just a blast to use, literally, and you can find that in the Duck and Cover Pack DLC. I almost forgot there for a moment. But that's pretty much it for weapon recommendations. I will see you guys over at the animal profile. Alrighty, so here we are at the end of today's video at our animal profile. Before I let you folks go, let me do a quick animal profile breakdown. Starting on the left-hand side, we have all of our basic coyote information covering the class, difficulty, silver, gold, diamond threshold. We have our weight. From kilograms to pounds from least to greatest, we have our fur types covering common, rare, and very rare. Moving on to the center map, we've pretty much covered all the animal locations that it can be pretty much anywhere on the map. And then in the top right-hand corner, we have all of our time zones to make your hunting life 10 times easier. And then below that, we have our full ammo integrity chart. And that pretty much does it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like. It really helps out the channel. So, that out of the way, folks, I hope you guys have a very wonderful day. Happy hunting, good luck, and I will see you in the next one.